welcome to another episode of Friend Outdoors.
On today's episode, Walter and Mark join Garrett Blankenship and his dad Rick for Garrett's first ever youth spring turkey hunt. Our team moves into an area where Rick has been hearing some gobblers. As dawn approaches, the guys find themselves on the top of a ridge listening. Once they hear a tom gobble, they head in that direction and they get set up in the blind with their decoy out in the timber. The tom is hot and he's gobbling a lot, and he's closing the distance fast. As I run the camera, I can tell Garrett is excited. Will the tom show up, and will Garrett be successful? Here's what happens.
Hey guys, we got a turkey down here at the end of the hill. Let's try to call it up.
This gobbler is starting to head in our direction. Garrett is setting to my left, and where he's shorter, he's having problems seeing this turkey.
Some company. Come on.
Garrett was heartbroken, but later in the morning, we got on another tom, and he's heading in our direction. Maybe Garrett can close the deal.
Close. He's looking at you. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait.
As Walter realizes that Tom is moving to the left and Garrett might get a shot, he lifts him up and he tries to push him closer to the fence to make sure that the gun can rest on one of those bars and be clear for a safe shot. As you can tell here, as this Tom gets closer, the wind really starts to pick up.
Get him next time. Instead there wasn't nothing above his head that shows the shot tooth over his head. Did he shoot the plug again?
I thought he hit him.
I think he
hit him.
Okay, that was the second bird this morning. What happened?
Well, first I was we went down in this holler, and well, I had 3 shots at the bird, missed them all 3 times, and then we waited there for a little bit, and then we moved again. We didn't, and then we seen another one after we got done shooting at that first one, and then, but we didn't get a shot at it. And then the third one, we was leaving, and then we seen about 8 or 9 gobblers and hens, and then got down, settled, and then here comes a big old gobbler. And I had 3 shots at him and missed him too. So I had 6 shots, every time I shot, and I shot 2 feet above the first one's head. And then after that, they went and checked, and I didn't hit jack crap.
Did a good job. I think you guys for coming out.
Well, I just want to thank some people for bringing me out here. Mark and and Walter for bringing me out here, and my dad, Garrett Blankenship, and just thanks for taking me on this hunt.
Did a good job calling your birds in, didn't you?
Yeah.
You didn't have to
Thanks
call
for calling my birds on.
Didn't have to call
They started laughing at me.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Here's a quick recap of this hunt. On this particular hunt, we took Garrett Blankenship on his first ever spring turkey hunt. It was youth day, and I'd worked it out with Rick. We told him we would take him and his boy hunting because they'd never turkey hunted before and wasn't sure even how to do it. So as we met Rick that morning and picked him up, he took us to an area where he'd been hearing some turkeys. So we moved up there on the ridge, and we got one to gobble from the roost. So we took off down through the timber to get set up on him. We got the blind set up, we got the decoy put out. I got Rick in the blind with me and Garrett sitting in front of him in his chair. I'm on the right filming, and Walter's behind the blind, probably 25, 30 yards in the brush. So I made some calls. Again, this bird was fired up on the roost. Immediately I felt like he's going to come. I mean, he was gobbling hard. So he flew down and he was on the way. I could hear Garrett's heart pounding, I swear, in that blind. As the bird got closer, you could just, he was excited and nervous. As that tom come up over the bank right there, I believe the blind startled him some, and he kind of took off because, you know, we were in the blind and we hadn't moved. The turkey probably ran 25 yards or so, 30 yards away, and I called a little bit and he just went back to strutting. Unfortunately, where the young man is smaller, he was sitting a little lower, and that log was blocking a lot of his view, and he couldn't see that turkey. I told him to be all right. I felt like the decoy was to our left, and that tom eventually would come around there where he could see that decoy. Well, eventually that's what he did. He just crossed the log and come out on the other side. It was still probably, again, a 35-yard shot, maybe. I think he just got so shook up that his first shot, if you look closely, he shot like a greenbrier there or grapevine or something into, and he shot about 2 foot over the bird's head the first shot. The bird took off running, and then Garrett was on him, pulling the trigger. So as the bird got away from us, I looked at Garrett, and he was pretty shook up. He was excited, but he was shook up. We proceeded to wait a little while, let things calm down. Eventually, I did some more calling. I got another bird to answer. We headed toward it. I got it coming in. None of that footage was on the tape. Again, the bird come in, he saw something he didn't like, and he moved on, and Garrett couldn't get a shot at him. So, but this time it's getting later in the morning. It's getting probably close to 11 o'clock. We're thinking about leaving. As we're moving out, I thought I heard one gobble, but it was one of them times where you're not positive. So we snuck down to the edge of this field, and I could see turkeys out into the field. I could tell one of them was a longbeard. So we got down and we did some hands and knees. We got close to the edge of the field. Again, there was a fence there. So Garrett is in front of Walter, and Walter decided to try to get Garrett closer to the fence because he didn't want him to shoot the fence. And again, you know, that young man, that gun was going to get heavy. So Walter got him close enough that he was able to lay the gun barrel on the fence and hold it. And eventually that tom worked his way down in front of Garrett and gave Garrett a shooting opportunity. Again, Garrett took the shot. You could see in the video he did get some of that pine tree, but I have no doubt that he at least peppered that turkey as it ran off, and Garrett was shooting again. When it was all over, he was heartbroken, he was tore up, but we told him, you know, don't worry about it, you know, we'll try to get you another opportunity, but he got to see a lot of action right there, and we was glad we was able to take him, let him see that. So he thinks that it's that easy all the time. We assured him that it wasn't. Again, we want to thank you guys for watching and supporting our channel. We really appreciate your time. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumb up like button. Think about subscribing to our channel. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. We'd like to thank our military personnel. Thank you for your service. Also on this channel, we got a lot of short videos. Check those out, a lot of different animals. Most of those videos are just 15 seconds. Now for a preview of an upcoming episode on Friend Outdoor Adventures.